Welcome everybody! Today we're going to draw a dinosaur. As a matter of fact, we're going to draw a Triceratops. So let's get started.
Hello, I'm Tarsila Krüse, and I'm a children's book illustrator. And this is Drawing with Tarsila.
The Triceratops tends to be quite a famous kind of dinosaur, and it tends to be some people's favorite as well. So you're very welcome to follow along if this is your favorite dinosaur. Leave a comment if it is, or if you have a different dinosaur that is your favorite, leave a comment as well and let me know which one do you prefer. So let's get started. To start with the Triceratops, we're going to need two circles. One's going to be smaller and one's going to be bigger, more like an oval shape. It's going to be laying horizontally in this shape. So we're going to start with a small circle for the head. And this is what we're going to draw very lightly because we're going to erase that afterwards. And then we're going to draw the shape for the body. Triceratops used to be quite large, rounding animals. So we're going to draw the oval shape like so for the body. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going for the overall shape. We're not going to do a massive amount of work here. It's just to give us an idea of where the body goes and where the head goes. So now that we have the head and the body kind of around the same place, we're going to start shaping up the head. So we're going on the front of that circle that we drew. We're going to do a little curve going outwards like so. Like as if you're chopping off a bit of an apple. Do you see? Imagine the circle is an apple and you're chopping off a little bit. You're giving it a bite. But then we're going to turn downwards like so. And we're going to stop here. Did you know the Triceratops had beaks instead of like gnarly teeth? So this is going to be the beak of our Triceratops. And now we're going to go on and put a mouth inside. So we're going to get the tip of the beak. We're going to go up a little bit more like this, but curve it like a little wave going inwards and then up. And we're going to stop. Now that looks like a wavy shape and it's the mouth of the Triceratops. Also going to draw a little line there because it looks cute. It's going to be smiling. Now for the upper jaw, for the bottom jaw of the Triceratops, we're going to start to draw a line following that circle that we already have there. We're going to start right here and we're going to pull it backwards. But first, it's not going to be directly down. It's going to go a little bit like this. So you connect and then you follow the circle shape a little bit and you're going to stop. And we have the shape of the mouth of the Triceratops. Now we're going to go back to the top where that is going because we're going to add the frill of the Triceratops. Triceratops have this massive frill around its head. So we're here on the top and what we're going to do is a very soft curve going upwards, kind of like the same length as the head. So imagine if it's going to be about the same width and length as this head. It's probably going to stop around here. So I'm going to make a soft curve going up all the way there, like so. Now I'm going to add the frill as we spoke. And the frill has a funny sort of shape, a bit like a webbing. So we're going to need 3 soft curves to do it. And they're going to go a bit in a funny shape. So we're going to start with the first curve, which goes like this. First curve. And then you're going to do a very similar shaped curve, but going downwards, like so. And then we're going to add the third curve that goes like this. Now all the way down towards the body, but we're not going to touch the body yet. So you can see it almost looks like a rock star now. Now we need to connect that frill back to the head, but we're not going to touch lines. And the way we're going to do it, instead of doing that curve that looks a bit like a smile, we're going to do a curve that goes the other way around. So instead of doing like this, we're going to do it like this. Imagine it's going to almost touch the head and just connect there. So this is the frill. And if you want, you can put the jaw a little bit further up here as well. That's excellent. Now, let's add a little curve where that circle was for the head, just so we have the shape of the head. And we're going to add the eye. So around the middle of the head there, around here, we're going to add an eye. The way I like drawing eyes is I'll draw a circle, kind of right in the center of that shape. And I'm going to draw a semi-curve inside looking forwards. That's already shaping up to be quite cute. But the thing is, Triceratops get its name from being a three-horned face. So we need to add the horns. The first horn we're going to add is the one on the nose. So at the very tip of the nose, we're going to add a horn. Now you can make it as big or as small as you want, but the way that I'm going to make it is about this height. Not too high, you can make it really high, but not too high and not too low. And I'm going to make a triangle shape, like so. Because I like drawing cute things, I usually make the edges quite round, but you can make them quite sharp if you want. Now, in between those two spaces and right above the eye, we're going to draw the horn, one of the horns that goes right on the top of the head. And we're going to make it in this way. So instead of doing a straight line, I usually draw a curved line. So I'm going to draw a curved line like so for the base of the horn. And this horn is going to be pointing forwards towards the front of the head. So I'm going to draw a curve going this way, and again, much like the horn we did for the nose, I'm going to turn this back down and do that horn. But a triceratops means three horns, so we have to imagine that there's another horn on the other side of the head, and the way that I'm going to do it is going about the same height as this one. I'm going to draw a little dot to help me mark where it is, and I'm going to kind of copy the same shape. So the curve on this side, and then sort of a straighter curve on the front going downwards and meeting the head. So we have the basic shape of the Triceratops head. Now we can add some horns also to the frill. Now some people may say that Triceratops had horns on the frill, some say they didn't, so it really depends on what you want to put in your own Triceratops. I'm going to add longer spikes or horns on the very edges of the frill, like so. They are soft triangles, but you can make them sharp if you want. And then I'm gonna add teeny tiny horns all the way around, adding soft, wide triangle shapes throughout the frill. Very good. Now let's move on to the body. We're going to add lots of different curves as well. So remember that we have that shape, that's the core of the body. Now, maybe when you're looking at it now, you go, you know what? I want it to be taller or smaller, and this is fine. You're just using that as a reference. So what we're going to do is close to the top of that part there on the frill, the back part, we're going to start doing the back. So you don't have to go all the way down to that shape because Triceratopses were quite large. So we're going to add a little curve going downwards. That's just where the neck and the back meet. And then we're going to go up and make a big soft curve that's gonna use for the back part of the Triceratops. And usually Triceratopses had tails as well. So we're going to continue that curve just quite softly. And we're going to stop. So it's going to look like a wave going a little bit down, up and down, and then we're going to stop right there. And we're going to leave it as is for the moment, because if we're trying to connect things backwards, it might prove to be a little complicated now. So we're just going to leave it as is for the moment. Now we're going for the neck of the Triceratops. And the way we're going to do it is, so around the middle of that lower part of the curve where you've drawn the chin or the lower jaw of your Triceratops, you're going to draw a diagonal straight line going downwards, like so, towards the body. And we're going to stop about here. Then we're going to draw another line, but this is going to be a curved one, coming from closer to where the jaw ends. And it's going to go up like so, and then it's going to go down and meet that little point there. So we're doing an interesting shape here, like so. Very good. Now we're going to take advantage of that shape, and you see that line is coming down. We're going to continue that line on a straight path going like so. This is going to be the front paw, and we're going to stop at about here. Now we're going to add a small curve going backwards to make the paw, and then we're going to shoot another line straight going up on a diagonal line, a little bit wider this time, because our Triceratops is going to be walking forwards. And once you do it, you have your paw, and we can stop here. You can add little toes if you want. So I'll add 1, 2, 3 with half circles, semicircles. And we already have the front of our Triceratops. But usually Triceratops have this really lovely round belly. So we're going to imagine that this line here from the neck is continuing, and it's going to make a curve here. So if you want to start with a soft line, and you can kind of follow the same shape that you did there for your circle, and you can make a round curve, and we're going to stop around here. So like a big smile for a happy, soft, round belly. And now we're going to draw the back leg. And the back leg, we're going to start with a soft circle, much like the ones we did before. So around the bottom of your main circle there, you're going to draw a soft circle again. This is just going to serve as a reference for you to know where the back leg is going to go, or back paw. It's a leg actually, isn't it? Yes, a leg. So imagine you're drawing a chunky cup that's going to revolve around this circle, and that's going to be the back leg. So if you imagine it's a bit like a cup, it's going to start following that round shape like this, and then it's going to come down like so. And imagine that it needs to stop kind of about the same height where this one does, because then they match. So kind of around here, yeah. And then I'm going to the other side of the cup, and I'm going to make a very similar shape. So the curve going in, and then it going out. And then I'm going to close it off with a half a curve. Now I feel that this leg is a little bit thinner than this one, and usually the back legs tend to be a bit wider. So I'm going to actually make it slightly thicker here. And I'm going to add 3 toes as well. 1, 2, 3. Very good. I'm going to connect it here because there was some space left. Now we need to add the 2 back legs, like the horn that we made on the other side. We're going to add legs to the other side of the body. So for the back leg, we're going to just add a little straight line coming diagonally like so. And then we're going to go back and up about the same width as this one. And we add the toes, 1, 2, 3 toes. And for the front paw, we're going to start at about the middle of where this line is. So from here to here, this is the middle. We're going to push that back. We're going to draw the soft curve because that's from the bottom. And we're going to go up again, and we're going to add the 3 toes. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now we need to connect the tail. So we stop the tail there, and usually the tail starts at the very bottom of the leg, where the leg and the body meet. So we're going to be here, and we're going to start here, and we're going to pull a line that is going to go first downwards, not upwards, because tails tend to be thicker at the base and thinner at the tip. And then we're going to start to make our way all the way to that tip that we drew. And then you can add a little curve there just to make it softer. Very good. Now, because we made that funny shape there, that's the underside of the Triceratops. We're going to continue that by creating a line that is parallel, which means that follows the same shape as this line here. So we're going to add a thicker line here, like so. And if you imagine that the underside is going to go all the way down to the tail, we're going to continue it about here in the middle of the top part of the cup shape. And we're going to go down, and we're going to stop at about here by creating a little triangle shape section. And now we're going to add lines to that underbelly to give it more sense that it is the underside of the Triceratops. So I'm getting parallel lines, short parallel lines, all through that underside that goes from the neck to the belly and now onto the tail. And you can make them very straight, or you can curve them. If you curve them, they'll give more an impression of a rounder shape, as you can see here. Now, the only thing that I see missing in our Triceratops is a nostril. So right below that horn on the nose, I'm going to add a little nostril. And here we have it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to erase very softly the soft lines that we drew beforehand. So I'm making sure that I'm not getting at any of the darker lines that we've made before. Just at the soft ones. And I'm maybe fixing some edges as well. And if you, for instance, erase some of the lines that are your final lines, you just can trace them again. And now you have your Triceratops. You can add some details, textures to the frill, to the body. You can add some little dots to create a textured skin. You can add some lines to the frills to make them pop a little bit more. You can add a few more dots around the face so it creates a little texture. You can add a pink cheek or a roundy space where the flush cheeks will be. I like doing that in most of my drawings. And here you are. I hope you enjoy this. Now I'm going to color this drawing in Procreate, and you can follow the process there. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this.
Thank you for watching. Bye!